Today I'm going to be walking you through how I organize my photos in Lightroom so that I can do everything quickly, seamlessly, and have a super fast workflow. So the first thing that I do is I create my catalog. So I just went to File, New Catalog, and then I labeled it Fall 2020. I try not to edit too many photos in here, and I make sure to back up my catalog. That way, if anything happens, I can find this easily, and I have different catalogs for different seasons. Okay, so under Library, if you come to Collections over here, this is the best way to organize. If you click on this plus and then drop down here, Create Collection Set, you can organize by what you photograph. As you can see, these are the things that I photograph. So I'm going to show you how to drop images into this beloved category. So the first thing I did was dropped in my final selections from Photo Mechanic. Photo Mechanic is an amazing app that just lets you pick your raw files extremely fast. I will show you what that looks like really quickly. I color code them. Green is my favorite, so I'm going to be blogging those, possibly putting those in an album, and then pinks are the pics. So what I do first is turn off all the colors, because if you have on this gray color, then it has all of the images that I did not pick down here, not selected. So I turn those off. Turn both of these colors on. Again, pinks are my picks, greens are my favorites, and I actually select all and then rename them in my external hard drive. That way I know if something happens again to my memory cards or my hard drives, I have them labeled and I don't have to recall them. So the first thing I do is turn off the pink, which is my picks, because I want to pull in my favorites first. So I'm going to drag those into Lightroom here. And then as that's opening up, I just type in some quick keywords, where it took place, my business name, engagement, engaged, beloved, because that's what I call them, and maybe couples or fall. And then I import. You can also select your metadata right here, and I've pre-done that. There's some other awesome things, but I won't go into that right now. So I import my favorites. This is typically what I do first. Once those are imported, you can see up here, it will be complete when that bar goes away. I select all of them, and then I create a folder. So again, plus sign, create collection. Now I've already done this prior to this video to save time. You can name it what you want. I typically do the date first and then their name with this little line and then what it is. So favorites, I would drop into here. Now I have my favorites in there, and then I already did the final images as well, but typically I would do that second. So I would come back in here, turn off my favorites, select just the pinks, and then drag that back in the same way. And then drag it over here into this custom folder. So now I have their final selections and their favorites. What I do first is I go in and I edit the favorites, because these are going to be their sneak peeks that I'm posting on Instagram and social media. This is going to be what I blog first, and I want to do that as fast as possible so I can get those images to them and I don't have them wondering what's going on. Then I focus on the final images. The great thing about this is that I can come in and start editing. We'll go to develop. I can start editing just these photos alone, and I have presets here. You guys can use your favorite preset. You can edit over here on the right. I'm just going to quickly select this, kind of do a quick edit for you. So you can kind of see what I do. Let's just say that's good. So I'm going to go back to Library. What happens is once all of these are done edited, I can do something such as selecting 5, and that means I'm 5-starring, so I also know they're my favorites, or I can do things such as clicking 8 and making them green. There's colors, there's stars you can do to clarify that these are your favorites. The reason why I do that, even though I have a folder over here, is because I am now going to drop these into my final folder, and you can see that number changed. And now you can see all of those favorites in here. So why does that matter, Jana? Because I want to know that when I get to this image, that this is the one that I edited. And it's going to allow me to sync my edits with the remainder of these here that are similar. So you can see the scene is kind of cool and it's all in the tree. So I can select these and then come over here and click sync under develop, and it's going to sync all of my settings for this picture with the rest. I don't typically do that with all of the images just because the scene changes, the lighting changes, but the ones that are similar, it's just a quick way to sync, select everything you want here, and then go ahead and sync it, and you can see it will apply those changes. And then when I scroll to that, I can just quickly make a couple adjustments and I don't have to do a full edit again. And then, you know, I just did a couple basic edits there. I typically select those next few again and then sync again, because typically as I progress, as I'm shooting, those same lighting conditions change, and then it just makes sense to me to do that. You don't have to do that. You can go in and manually adjust each little image as you like. That's just what I do as a tip. See, I can come in here instead of syncing them and just do one by one, and then go to the next one, and so on. The other amazing thing about this, if you come back to the library, which is where all of your organization is, as I'm selecting these 5 stars or I'm color coding, I can have a system for myself that works. And then Lightroom has created this smart collection folder here. If you open that up, you can see anytime you do any session at all, whatever you do with your colors or your stars, it automatically drops in here. So the really cool thing about this, if you have an image that is like a portfolio piece, a showstopper, a contest winner, you know, something that you really want to brag about, and you maybe at the end of the year in December, maybe you want to have a blog post of your top images of the year, you can have a specific color. Say I click 3 for my star, or I could do 9 for blue. So any of those blues, they're going to fall in over here, and I can create, of course, it just has a red here. So, you know, let's find red. I can't remember because I don't use red. 5. 5 is red. So it automatically drops that in there. So if this is the greatest picture and I want to post this at the end of the year, you guys, as I'm editing and organizing each session, I can be planning for the end of my year, and it drops these things in once again, so that at the end of the year, all I have to do is come click on this, and my photos from all of my sessions and all of my weddings fall under that tab. It is incredible. Lightroom is a powerhouse for organizing and editing, and I tell all of my photographers and people who want to organize and batch sync and, you know, do metadata and all of the things that you need as a photographer, this is the app that you want, and it has saved me so much time. So hopefully that helped you guys today get a little peek of how I organize, and these will start to grow, of course, as I start pulling in more sessions. For now, they are empty. But you can see I pulled in a wedding for my favorites because I just did this last Saturday and I wanted to just do some sneak peeks. So you can see I did the same thing. I labeled these as 5, and then I edited a couple so that I could show them those photos from the weekend. So I hope that helps. Shoot me an email or a private message if you guys have any questions about organizing in Lightroom. Thank you so much. Have a great day.